Hello, everyone. How are you doing? It's Dave Bondy. Great to see all of you here. Tonight, we are talking about a topic that I didn't think I would be talking about: school dress codes. I really thought it was cut and dry. There was a dress code, and you followed the dress code, and you did. You did it or you didn't. And if you didn't follow the dress code, well, you went home or you got in trouble. But apparently, there's a lot more to school dress codes than I ever knew. I have children, and they have dress codes, and I really haven't had an issue with this, but there's a parent in Tawas and apparently other parents across the state of Michigan that are also having lots of issues with dress codes. Um, I found out about this story when it went viral on social media. I want to play you a little bit of this mom of what she had to say about what's happening in Tawas, Michigan. Listen to this. 3, 2, 1. So the mom claims the school district, Tawas, is targeting her daughter. And what also happened is very interesting. The mom, who you just heard from, she is claiming that a school board member was inappropriate on her social media page, calling her and her daughter's names, and even doing that in a phone call, according to the mom. Well, the school superintendent just reached out to me just a short time ago and released his statement. Now, you might not be able to read it. I'm going to read it to you so you can. I want to read the whole statement. I don't want to do what the media does sometimes and leave things out. Here it is. Thank you for reaching out regarding this matter. Tawas Area Schools remains committed to maintaining a positive and respectful learning environment for all students. While I cannot discuss specific student matters due to student privacy laws, I can confirm that we have policies in place to ensure consistency and fairness in enforcing the dress code. We are aware of the concerns that have been raised and are actively working to address them through open communications with those involved. Our priority is to foster a collaborative approach where concerns can be resolved in a productive manner. We encourage open, respectful dialogue through appropriate channels to ensure all concerns are addressed constructively. Okay, now this is the part about the school board member here. Additionally, while members of the Board of Education are elected officials and do not oversee daily school operations or student disciplinary matters, the board strongly emphasizes that the actions of one individual do not represent the board as a whole. The board holds its members to high ethical and professional standards, and conduct that does not align with these expectations is not condoned. The situation does not reflect the collective values of the Tawas Area School Board of Education. The individual in question has been made aware of the concerns regarding their actions and has acknowledged the impact this had on the board's reputation. Moving forward, the board remains committed to upholding the integrity and professionalism expected of its members. So that is the statement right there. So the whole story, what's going on? What is happening here? I talked to this mother exclusively just a short time ago. Watch this. So this is an issue that I really didn't know a lot about. I'm a dad. I leave for in the morning many times, and my daughter and kids are getting dressed. But it's a big issue for lots of parents, especially for Katie. Hello, good to see you.
Hi, good to see you.
Hi. So I saw the video. You were very emotional about this. Why were you so emotional? Because it's something you've been dealing with this for a while.
We've been dealing with it with our daughter since October.
Wow. Okay. So what is the main what came to head? What was the big issue? She was basically she went to school, she was dressed, and then they told her what she was wearing wasn't appropriate?
Yeah, this most recent violation, they tried saying that the t shirt she was wearing was too short in the front. And they made her change into another shirt, which was a long sleeve. And when we finally got her home and we measured it, because side by side we noticed that they looked the same length, they literally were less than a half an inch of difference in length. And if you look at them picture wise side by side, there's no difference. They're the same length in the front, and they're not against violate. Neither one of the shirts are against their rules.
Wow. So it's not like, and I was asking you earlier, it's not like she's like a mini skirt and like a something really provocative or bad. We're not talking that, anything like
Nope,
that.
nope, nope. And she's not even trying to push it. She's not a rule breaker. She's fully covered. Their rules say that her pelvis and her butt has to be covered, and her shirt clearly you can see in the pictures they're covered.
Yeah, let me bring it up here. I think this is her, what she went to school with that day, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Her
So
her butt's covered.
Okay. So she goes to school wearing this. She thinks she's fine, right? Everything's cool.
Yep, she has me check it every morning. She asks me probably 5, 6 times before she leaves to check her over.
And then what happens during class at the beginning of the school? Did someone call her into the office or something, or how'd that work?
Apparently, her teacher sent her to the office, and my son seen her coming back from the office crying. And he said, "Did you get dress coded again? You need to go call mom." He was mad because she was just in tears. So she come back to the office and she called me, and then that's when I talked to the principal.
Okay. So then when they do that, they don't send her home, right?
No, they make her change into clothing out of a little room they call Anna's closet, which is donated clothing.
Okay. And I have a picture of that. I think this is like a sweater or a I don't what just a long shirt or something.
Yeah, it's a long sleeve shirt and it covers her in the back just like the first shirt. And in the front, it's the same length by less than a half an inch.
Okay. Wow. So it's not the leggings, it's the length of the shirt.
Right. They said that in the front, her shirt was not long enough.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Has this been the issue the whole time with her, like the length of it, or
Sometimes they like the first time we had an issue and I actually went to the board and we went to multiple board meetings. I went to all the administration and we fought. We took other parents that were dealing with issues. We took in pictures of other schools locally, their dress codes and how they worked, and we asked that the dress code be changed.
okay.
But the first time she was wearing shorts that went down to about a dollar bill above her knee. And they were trying to say that they were leggings.
Okay. Do you think are they treating everyone fairly, equally?
No, because when we went in there that first time, and every time you go in there, there's students walking around that are wearing shorts that are shorter with leggings. There are multiple dress code violations walking all around you. The first time we went in there, we had 5 girls walk right past us in leggings with shirts that just come to their waist. And honestly, in my opinion, I feel like it's not even so much they're targeting my kid and they're targeting her probably because I've stood up to them about this.
And people are watching and you've had some negative comments. What for the people that say, "Why don't you just be quiet and do what they say?" How do you answer those people? Like just follow the rules.
Well, the problem with that is we are following the rules. Our kid is per their dress code appropriate, and they're nitpicking at her and trying to pull her up to the office as much as possible. I feel like because she's not in violation of their code.
What is this do I'm a 50-year-old guy, I have a 12-year-old daughter. I don't know what's going through their head. What does this do to your daughter's 10, you said?
Mhm.
What is the I don't know what her world is, but what does this do to a 10-year-old when she has to go through this kind of stuff? How does she deal with it? What's going on?
It's not good for her mental health. I can tell you, she, even at home, sits, walks around and pulls at her shirts. All of her shirts are like literally stretched out because she sits and yanks at them. It's like a nervous tick.
Wow.
And I'm not joking when I tell you every evening we have her get an outfit ready because of these issues. She goes through this every evening where she's worried about whether the clothing's right. And even though we tell her it's fine, we okay it. Me and her father both look them over.
Yeah.
Even if we tell her fine, the next morning we've already picked out an outfit. She goes through it all over again because she's so anxious about getting pulled out of her class and embarrassed in front of her friends. The other day, Tuesday, when they come to get her, she said, and don't quote me on this, I think it was 2 or 3 adults were standing out in the hallway, looking her up and down like she was an item on a shelf they were getting ready to buy and checking her out. And she said, "I knew they were coming in to get me, mom." And all of her friends were going, "Oh, Timber." It's detrimental to her. I mean, she can't even go in and just get an education and enjoy school and be in a safe place. School is a scary place for her right now because of this, and not because of other students, but because of their staff.
Yeah. So, what have they said to you, the school? Like, you've talked to them about it. Are they? What do they say? Like, principal, superintendent? What? How do they respond to you,
Well,
or do they?
the superintendent right now, we have a meeting Friday where it's going to be me, the superintendent, myself and my husband, the superintendent, the principal, and the assistant principal that I'm aware of right now.
Okay.
And her words were she's not sure what resolution we can come to other than an apology. And one of her comments was maybe just going back to no leggings. So, out of all of this, how this is affecting my daughter, everything that's going on, their solution is maybe going back to no leggings and an apology.
Okay, so I'll follow up with you and obviously and see how that goes. I'm reaching out to the school district, see if they'll say anything. They might not because it's students and so forth. But and then after that, you posted on social media, it went viral, and you had a school board member. You say reach out. I don't want to say his name because I don't want to go there, but I just want you to. There was a you say there's a school board member that it was inappropriate.
Oh, yeah, very inappropriate. Um,
What was that? Was it on social media or
they the phone call was on my personal phone, and
so
I
you
go ahead.
called the person or
I called him first. This guy is a very well-known gentleman here in town, and my family's known him as long as I can remember.
okay.
So I had his personal phone number. So I called him simply to ask why because he commented underneath my post is what he did. And it was
What did he comment on the post? What did he say?
um it was like a blah 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 normal victimology, totally degrading the whole situation. And this is our board member.
Yeah, that's not that's not so it wasn't, "Oh, thank you for your concern, we'll work with you." It wasn't something like that.
No, it was a very nasty comment underneath my post about my daughter.
That's not appropriate.
No, so that's why I called him and he never answered, but then he called back about 10-15 minutes later, and it was a very heated conversation, I will not lie, and he yelled at me at the top of his lungs and he quote said, "Her lady bits aren't covered, put a shirt that covers her crotch."
Wow. Okay. That's not, yeah,
Her
not appropriate at all. And then I'm assuming the phone call probably just end it.
Yeah, at the end, because I posted the clip on my Facebook, but at the end of the clip, you can hear there's some choice words from me because that's my daughter he's talking about. And at this point,
Don't blame
I
me.
can tell you, I'm about as stressed as I possibly could. And when a grown man, and also a grown man that's on our board, calls to yell at me about covering my daughter's private parts, I was quite perturbed. So there
Yeah,
was some choice words, and then we hung up.
yeah, that's not, appropriate at all. Did that surprise you, that reaction?
Um, Honestly, I guess it surprised me to a certain extent that he said it about my daughter. But this gentleman's known for his outburst. There's been issues at the school prior, and he has actually emailed parents and harassed them and done other things similar to this. So,
Wow, well, that seems like a whole other issue also that needs to be discussed, and I'm sure at the board meeting, I would hope that'd be looked into, I would think.
I, I would hope, but it's been let go every time. It's
Okay.
so.
Well, why do you put it on social media and go public? Because you're going to have people who are going to say, "Just shut up and obey the rules and stop making an issue. It's only a dress code thing." How do you respond to those people? Because you probably got those comments, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, here's the thing. I have went to the board meetings. I've filed the correct paperwork. I've talked to the superintendent. I've talked to the principal until I am blue in the face.
Yeah.
And at this point, it's still a weekly thing that my daughter's being drugged to the office and targeted. And now I'm being harassed by an adult man on the board, and my daughter's being sexually harassed by him, honestly, in my opinion. And so where do I go from here? Do I just keep quiet and still keep going to the board? Do you want me to go to the board and sit with a man who's yelling at me about my daughter's private parts?
Wow, so what do you where do you go from here? I mean, what do you it's because you're a small how many kids even go to that school? You're a small community, right? I mean, it's not very big.
Yeah, it's not a very big community at all.
So everyone knows everything probably that's going on.
Everybody knows everybody. Everybody's got every police officer on their Facebook. We're all friends. Everybody knows everybody.
So what do you do now? Just hope that something changes or someone has some common sense maybe?
I'm I'm hoping that this makes some real change. Like, we need a different definitely we need a different dress code. And if they are going to honor the dress code, it can't be for one student or two students. It has to be for all students. It has to be fair.
Yeah, have you heard from other parents across the state because your video's gone viral? Have do other parents deal with this?
Oh yeah, lots of other parents deal with it, and then you got some people that have more of a lax dress code, and they don't deal with these kind of issues at all, just because there's not such a pressure on clothing.
You mean schools?
Hmm.
Oh, so yeah, and I asked you earlier, would you rather just have a uniform? I don't even know in public school if they can make them wear a uniform, but that's not the answer you said, right? Having them just all wear the same thing.
Yeah, I don't really think that's the answer. And I mean, honestly, yes, this is a dress code issue, but it's actually really an issue about the fact that the administration is only targeting certain kids.
Okay. Um, wow. Have you
Because
spoke
she's not breaking dress code technically.
Yeah. Have you spoke at a board meet or you said oh, you're meeting with them Friday, you said?
Yes.
Tomorrow. Okay. Well, let me know how it goes, and I'm sure they're not happy that you put it out there publicly, but maybe something good can come of it.
I hope so. I mean, I've had a lot of people reach out, and I've had a lot of people show me some different things, some different avenues that maybe I can go into to get some help for my daughter. And I guess my main goal is I don't want her to have a unsafe learning experience. And I want her to go to school without being harassed by administration.
Does this
You know?
yeah, does this show you why I hear a lot of people or many people are like homeschooling or doing different things. They hear stories like this and this is why I think.
Yeah, and honestly, I mean, just underneath my post, if you go to my Facebook page and you check it out, there's, I think, like 500 comments or something, and a lot of them are just local parents. And you should see the stories of administration bullying them into pulling their kids, or the mental health issues that their kids are dealing with after being bullied in that school. I mean, it's huge, and it's not okay, and something's got to change. There's got to be something that we can do as parents, and we all are going to the board and trying to do the proper steps. But I mean, look at how we're being treated by a board member.
Yeah,
So,
is this
where do we
is this
go?
did you grow up in this area?
I did. I went to Tawas schools, and I dropped out in the ninth grade because I was targeted.
What was it like this then, or is it something different? Probably.
It was a
Did they have a
little
dress code?
different,
They have a
but
dress code back then?
yeah, they had a dress code. It was still sort of similar, except like, we had to do the finger thing on our tank tops, and it was the shorts had to be closer to the knee and stuff like that. And
Hmm.
but it wasn't really per se just dress code. I mean, I was pulled up in front of a class and made fun of by my math teacher, or I was smacked by a choir teacher. It was just
It
not a good school experience.
so yeah, it sounds like things need to change in the school system throughout the state. It sounds like.
Our administration needs to do better. At the end of the day, the principal had the final say, and she wasn't in violation. She's fully covered, and just like everybody can see, and everybody has said, they don't see the problem. She's covered.
Yeah.
Fully. It's not like I'm trying to push a tank top here, or I'm not trying to push a skinny, mini, tiny skirt. She is a 10-year-old little girl who's fully covered in wearing baggy shirts.
Yeah, this is what she went to school with, that right there. So,
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, what is she showing that is inappropriate? And how is she breaking the dress code when it says that it has to cover their butt and their pelvis? It's doing both.
What if you went to school with like with a tent over her? I'm not joking, but it's just crazy. I mean, just
I'm sure they'd find something to raise a stink about.
yeah. Well, okay. You're gonna update me on what happens. Hopefully, when you meet with them, you come to some resolution and something good. And I know you're gonna talk about a lot, but I'll have you back on. But keep me updated on what happens. Well, there you go. That's the whole story right there from the mother. And you heard the school side as well in the statement that the school district released. That's what I want to do. And when I was working in the mainstream media, they would only give me maybe a minute and a half to tell this story, maybe 2 minutes if I was lucky. So now that I am an independent journalist, I am able to give you the entire story. And that's the entire story so far. Now, I did not name the school board member because I have not been able to get a hold of him, so I wanted to give him a fair chance to respond. So I did not want to name him in this story, but I did hear the audio. And let's just say he was, if that was him in the audio, appeared to be very, very unprofessional. But as you heard the statement from the school there, the school saying that he acknowledges what happened, and the board says that that one individual does not represent the entire board. This parent, she is going to meet with the school district Friday morning. I'll let you know exactly what happens. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I really appreciate it. A lot going on in the world, and taking a deep look into stories that the media doesn't look into. And this is a story that I did not think was a big deal, but apparently it is a deal that's impacting lots of kids, lots of parents throughout the country and here in Michigan. And that's why I wanted to take this on and cover it. Thank you, everyone. Make sure you're sharing this among your friends. I'll see you soon.